Discover the manipulation tactics behind tarot and oracle reading scams.
Let me preface this by saying I already know that there's going to be a lot of people who are not going to like, right, Noonie, who are not going to like what I'm about to say. All right, and I apologize. And I had said I'm going to stop correcting people that I'm not paid to correct. You know, mainly on my own business on this app. However, we still have to speak up and educate the people and whatnot. So anyway, this video about me exposing tarot and oracle card scams on this app. It started from last night. I was up late. It's like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. No, there were no demons or monitoring spirits. I just woke up because I had a backache, and I logged on to TikTok. And of course, there's a whole bunch of suggested people. Apparently, all the tarot oracle card readers are up late at night. So I'm going through and I got the idea. I said, okay, what I'm going to do is I am going to click into their live stream just so I can click not interested. And hopefully that'll stop it from going across my feed. And then when I refresh my feed, I won't see anymore because I don't watch spiritual content. I don't. That's why I tell you, don't send those videos to me. I'm not going to watch them. And so I was doing that. And what I saw were people so obviously scamming. And like I said, I am a reader myself, but that does not negate the fact that there are some bad apples out there. And sometimes I think they don't even know that they're bad. So let me hip y'all to the scam and to the gag so that you can spot it yourself. I saw several people with stacks of these, okay? Right. And they had just written random words and phrases on some index cards. And they were just calling out gibberish, and people were eating it up, not knowing that they were being psychologically manipulated. I don't know if you guys have ever played the game with kids where you just make up a story as you go. It's like, oh, well, there once was a princess named Noonie, and she had a magical red shirt. And whenever she held her blue pen, she could fly around like a bird. You know, you just make up a story as you go along. So these people were literally doing that with the random stuff that they written on index cards, and they pull out. Somebody here has a big dog, and that's telling you that you need that big dog energy in life. And a lot of times you feel like you're a small meow meow, but really you need to be a big dog. One lady pulled up a card that said 5 to 10 years, and she said, "I don't know who needs to hear this, but yeah, they're gonna offer you 5 to 10 years." It was crazy, and it's a psychological thing because there are certain tactics that have often been used by televangelists, faith healers, and people like that. And one of them is called shotgunning. And basically, what shotgunning is when you just call out a bunch of statements into a crowd, hoping that someone that it applies to will speak up. So they'll say things like, well, somebody here is having a backache. Well, if you have a crowd of people over the age of 40, at least 4 of them are gonna have that going on, and hopefully one of them will speak up because they only need one. Like the doors of the church, will there be one? They only need one. Because if that one person speaks up, then psychologically what it does to the rest of the crowd is it validates that reader. Because if that one person speaks up and says, oh, that was me, then what you will say on the inside is, okay, that was for them. The other ones weren't for me. Maybe mine is coming next. See, you have already validated everything that person has said, whereas before it was just gibberish on cards, but now it's prophetic speaking because one person spoke up and said what they said was the truth. And so then they'll double down on it and they go from shotgunning to cold reading. Cold reading is when you see one fact and then you start building a narrative around it. Normally people who cold read will just say a bunch of gibberish, and then what happens is when you jump and go, "Oh, they reacted when I said the word Martha." So now everything about the reading is about this fictional Martha that they saw you jump about. Okay? So there, they do shotgunning and then they do cold reading. And then last thing are what are called Barnum statements. You got to be careful. Barnum statements are attributed to P.T. Barnum, you know, the circus fellow, the one who they said there's a sucker born every minute. Come to find out he didn't even say that, but people just like to put it out there. But Barnum statements are statements that could apply to everybody. Like they'll say something along the lines of, although you don't consider yourself an artistic person, you do at times like to express your creative side. Or they'll say something along the lines of, although money is not the center of your existence, you do at times like to spend and get nice things for yourself. It's one statement that plays both sides of the coin. And so what happens is people will hear that and they'll end up in those reading situations like y'all are in, when those people are shuffling cards, making up stories, throwing out shotguns and Barnum statements and cold reading, all the while so you can get that 333, 777, or the 1111 tap in, or maybe book a longer session with them later for much more. All right.